Hey everybody, and welcome to DITV. We're sitting here with Tom Reardon from Texas Instruments, and he's got a neat little gadget here. It's the TI Inspire CX, and as I believe it, you have a couple of cool things to show us today, don't you?
Yeah, if you stop by our booth, we have a couple of activities we'll show you, and in case you couldn't get there, we're going to be looking at one on area formulas and one on adding fractions like a half, a fourth, an eighth. So I'd like to show you first of all the one on area formulas.
Okay, yeah, give us a whirl there.
Okay, so a lot of people understand about area formulas, and this is how TI is trying to help students understand conceptually the idea of coming up with the area formulas. So we're going to look at an area formula for a parallelogram, and we're going to start off with a rectangle and a parallelogram that have the same base and same height. And to the math teacher, we know those have the same area, but the students learning that don't know that. So to help them see that, we're going to ask them to grab this point P down here and pull it to the right, and as you notice, parallelogram actually is the rectangle with the same base, same height. So the area formula for a parallelogram is base times height.
That's great.
Now we have the same thing for area of a triangle. We have a parallelogram here on the top and a triangle on the bottom. They have the same base and height. And the students say, well, what's the area formula? And well, again, they will discover it on their own. They'll grab this point Q, pull it up and over, and as you can see, we get two triangles that make up exactly the same area as the parallelogram. If the parallelogram is base times height, the triangle should only be half that. And it works no matter what size. I can even grab this point B right here on this parallelogram and pull it, and notice that it works no matter how big the base is. Finally, we have area of a trapezoid, and here we have a parallelogram and a trapezoid. And at first, as a teacher, I didn't see any relationship between them at all, but if the students do what they're asked to do, and that is grab point R, they can grab point R and pull it around and see that those two trapezoids actually make up the same area as that parallelogram. And so the area of the parallelogram will be base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So the trapezoid will be half that, which is the complicated formula that students have a hard time with. And now even my lowest achieving students get that the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 the height times the sum of the bases.
So there's a level of interaction that you're able to get with moving these points around to be able to further explain these mathematical formulas that sometimes it's hard to get your head wrapped around.
Absolutely, and if each student gets to work at his or her own pace here, and they're discovering the formulas, and when they discover them, it makes more sense to them, they remember them longer, and they have that ownership.
Yeah, that's great, that's great. So is there another program that you wanted to show?
Yeah, the second one deals with, it sounds awfully scary and intimidating, some of an infinite geometric series, but I've found that for middle school up through calculus, and parents and teachers seem to get this pretty well, so I'd like to illustrate that one too.
Oh yeah, great, yeah.
Okay.
If the calculator can do it, I want to see it.
Okay. So this is an infinite geometric series, and it's a half plus a fourth plus an eighth plus a 16th and so on. And you'll notice that each of the denominators is double what the previous one was. And so if you add those up forever and ever, they get close to a particular number. And most people say, oh, I have no idea what that would be. So let's go ahead and investigate that. So on the next page, it has what's called a slider, and the students would be instructed to click on that slider. And when I click on it the first time, it shows you the number a half and the physical representation, and also the sum, of course, which is a half. And each time they click after that, it'll show plus a fourth, which is 3/4, and you can see that, and an eighth, and a 16th, and so on. And I'll ask them as they're doing, I say, well, what do you think this is going to eventually get to? And they'll say, well, it looks like it's going to get to be 1. And I'll say, will it ever get there? And they'll say, well, no, because there'll always be half of what's left. And I'll say, that's right. And we start talking about limits and other things. But this one page does in 20 seconds what I can't accomplish in an entire 50-minute period. The students just get it. It's that conceptual understanding, it's using color, they're interacting, they're going at their own pace. It's like the perfect activity.
That's excellent. And so here at the Innovation Expo, you have these devices out and you have people coming up and testing them and playing with them. What are they talking with you about? What are their questions? What are they interested in?
They want to know how this is different from the TI-84, which has been our classic mainstay for many years. And I was a user of the 84 and the 83 before that. And the TI Inspire does everything that calculator does, but with color and the activities that we have, the interactivity. It's just the backlit screen, the rechargeable battery. It just has so many more things to offer. But to me, it's the activities. There's 1,000+ activities on TI's website that are free, that students and teachers can download and use in their classrooms, from middle school math through Algebra 1 through calculus. And now they even have things for science. There's a thing called Science Inspired now that has those activities.
That's great. That's a lot of resources to provide educators.
I'm amazed by them, yeah. And they're all created by teachers or former teachers much more clever than I am, but that's fine with me. I'll just get to take advantage of what they've done.
And so TI and DI, you know, we were talking, this is your third global finals. What is it that you love about your relationship with DI here, and what is DI giving back to TI?
Well, I like coming, the enthusiasm here among everybody is just amazing. It's contagious. And I think that Destination Imagination and Texas Instruments, DI and TI, share the passion for STEM education. You do here what we don't do, what I can't do inside the classroom as a teacher. And Texas Instruments would like to show that we can contribute to that outside the classroom, you know, discover mentality, as well as do it inside the classroom. And so with what this enables us to do with problem solving, we can share with you here, but also transfer to the classroom as well.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for coming back, and we look forward to seeing more of fantastic Inspire and you know, whatever you guys come up with. We want to get our hands on it because it really seems like students are able to visualize what is going on in this mathematical STEM world. So thank you so much for coming down.
And that's the key word, the visualize. Yes.
Yep.
Well, thank you too.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All
Thanks.
right.